And we are live. All right. Yeah, we're back on Dark Souls 2 again today. And okay, that was a close one. Oh, the mushrooms aren't here. That's interesting. I didn't realize they stopped spawning. I guess I've never actually gone back to try and kill them again. So I guess our best bet is gonna be here. That's the wrong one. That one's too high up. So close. was completely wrong. I'll figure it out at some point or another. There we go. There's a crystal lizard up there, but we can't get to it yet. And it's just starting to titanite. Well, that's fine, I guess. I was hoping for something a little more spectacular. guess we're not doing it from that angle. The best way to do it then would be use of bow and arrows. We don't have all that many arrows. So we're gonna save up some money to buy a handful. Some souls. Today's stream is, meant to say this earlier, but today's stream will likely be on the shorter end. I did that wrong. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now that we've got that sorted, we're gonna farm these guys for just a little bit, get a handful of souls, and then buy a ton of arrows with them. We could probably, if we switch to a full Sildora set, we'd get more souls. But honestly, having better item discovery wouldn't hurt us here. We're still getting almost 1100 souls with this setup. So I'm gonna get just over 1100 souls. Honestly, this might be a better setup. Since normally we only get, what is it, 1193 in these guys, and with this we're getting 1108. 85 souls isn't that much, grand scheme of things. Having the extra item discovery might actually help us. Might finally get the armor from these guys. Oh, okay. I swung wider than I thought you would. They're going barehanded. It's an interesting choice. They got cornered. Looks like online is a bit more active today in this area. So it should be plenty of souls to go and grab some arrows with. think... Let's see, I don't think straight sells any arrows. At least not the kinds we want, anyway. Well, I don't think anyone sells the kind we want. But... Linguist sells arrows, so... That's where we're going for them. Not particularly great arrows, of course, but they are the basic arrows. And we can afford a lot of them. And we're gonna need a lot of them. And we're actually gonna go farm for a handful more souls, because I do believe I could upgrade my bow by a significant margin. I know there's a longbow somewhere, but upgrade materials are pretty easy to farm, so I'm not really worried about, you know, the amount of upgrade materials I have. Excuse me. Honestly, I'd really love to have the black bow, but I don't think you can get it until at least the Shade of Woods. Maybe later, even. Could go and pick up the Dragon Rider bow, but it's not really the best. Oh, it does scale more with strength than with dex. It's the only normal bow that does that, to my knowledge. Okay. I guess plus 3 Estus heals more than I thought. Getting all sorts of drops from them. Just not the one piece of armor I want. I've already gotten the rest of them. A couple of times for most of it. That was a very risky move. But it paid off, so... There we go. And so we're doing the full run back. We're gonna get this guy down here and grab... Yeah, head over to this bonfire to go back. Killed hundreds of these guys so far. Still haven't gotten the armor piece. So I got the chest piece, I mean. Gotten the other armor pieces. A few times over. Sold a few of them. this, we're gonna finish out our stock of wood arrows and upgrade our short bow to +6, I guess. Could push all the way up to +8. But don't really want to spend that many resources on it. So +6 it is.
I'll be around.
I guess we'll spend the rest on another dozen or so. Maybe 11 soul gems. 12. Oh, it is 12. Okay. And just almost yet 13. Life gems. I keep calling them soul gems. And now we're gonna try to kill a flaming lizard. But actually, before we do that, we are gonna see if we can actually survive the fall down there. Let's see. Take off you and you. On you. Grab everything else. And then just gotta drop right here. And we can survive. So we're going to equip you. Oh, okay. Well, we know he can make the drop, so now we can kill him without too much worry. And that's the major concern, is whether or not we can actually get down there without dying. So we'll throw you on. Increase our damage by getting a little closer. 66 might be capped out, actually. I'll bring this guy up here. I think these guys can drop a longbow if you're lucky. I probably won't get him to drop it, but if we kill him every time we come down here, we just might get him to drop one eventually. Let's heal up. And get back to it. The reason we're killing these guys is because they have a chance. They have a small chance to drop 3 different pyromancies? 2 different pyromancies? Fire Orb and Great Fireball. If we can get one of either of those, we are set for a while. Don't even have to worry about Rosabeth. I mean, well, eventually we will, because we also need Poison Mist at some point, but... whatever. Oh, he dropped something. I think they have a higher chance of dropping the Fire Drake Stone than anything else. Can we hit this guy? We can. May require a bit more patience. Actually, it'll be way easier if we just go down there to do it. And so we plunge. 700-ish souls. There's a few more items around here. The Hawk Ring? Oh, well, that would have been great for killing him. Large Soul of a Proud Knight. Cracked Red Orb. That's their most common drop. And Flame Quartz +1. That's not terrible if you're trying to fight these guys head on, but... This is a lot easier. Just remembered to put this on. It's a good thing I did that before I actually killed him. Already eaten through almost 100 arrows just killing these two. We will finish 100 arrows killing the two of them. Although now we know the Ring of Blades increases our damage by about 30%. Increases it by 17 points, essentially. It's not bad bonus. Here's the difficult part. Should be two more of them. One. Oh, yep, he will follow. Well, looks like you won't follow all the way, though. These guys do have a weak point. It's the underside of their throat. Take almost triple damage if you can hit the underside of their throat. Easiest time to do it is when they're preparing to attack. Massively cuts down on the number of arrows needed to kill one of these guys. This is the first time I found a spot where you can get one of them stuck like this, though. You have a base and 900 souls. It's not bad. There's the last one. We are going to avoid like our life depends on it. Because it does. Oh, hello. Rebel's Great Shield. And we're out. We probably could have killed that one too. But I know they have like, it's like a 1 or 2% drop chance. Even with my current item discovery gear. Which isn't the best in the game, but is good. Okay. Life boost doesn't matter while we're just trying to kill them. So we can drop it while we're just shooting at them. Okay. Once again, a mind-numbing task. Probably could have done this while I wasn't streaming, but I figured, you know, at least if I stream the whole run, then I can record all of it for later, I guess. Also, I've noticed someone's actually been watching my YouTube channel. All of my videos on there. Which is nice. I don't know who it is, but I appreciate it. Whoever's doing it. Even if they are just putting it on in the background. Alright. There we go. Second one down. There's the archer down. Good news is, every time we kill him, we get enough souls to buy about 90 arrows. I think it's taking less than 90 per kill, so technically we are making a profit. Not if we use heavy arrows, though. Those cost 5 times more, and we can't buy more of them right now. Only real way to get those currently is by farming the undead rogues in Huntsman's Copse. Once we get further in the game, there are, I think, Dornifex and Macduff might both sell heavy arrows in unlimited quantities. So I'm honestly actually not sure about Dornifex. Pretty sure Macduff sells wood, standard, and heavy. I think Ornifex sells lightning and fire. Which you can also get from, I think, Chancellor Welliger if you're in New Game Plus 2. I think he's the only merchant whose inventory changes on more than one New Game cycle. Because most of them get extra items for New Game Plus. But I think Chancellor Welliger is the only one that gets new stuff for New Game Plus 2. I don't think anything changes with New Game Plus 3. I don't think any merchant inventories or anything change. Okay. I believe you can make the Gouts of fire stop if you kill these guys until they stop respawning. Although being in company of champions, they will never stop respawning. It's an interesting mechanic that they put in this one. One of many. You kill an enemy, I think it's 12 times for most of them. Some enemies, obviously, you kill them once and they don't respawn. Those are non-respawning enemies, like boss fights. But most enemies... Apologies for the pause, I was just getting a little snack. No drop this time. Oh, right. There are non-respawning enemies and bosses, which are non-respawning, generally speaking, who, you kill them once, they don't come back. Then you have normal enemies, who, if you kill them 12 times, they won't come back anymore. If you're in the company of champions, normal enemies will continue to respawn indefinitely instead of being gone after 12 deaths. That is one of the reasons I take this covenant at the beginning of the game. If you struggle with the game, basically this is kind of the reason the mechanic exists, is if you struggle to clear areas, but like, you have a couple enemies that you can kill consistently, or like, if you kill the first handful of enemies consistently, and then after that, it, like, you run out of resources, you die, whatever. Then you keep killing those first few enemies over and over again, and they stop respawning. And now you can make it further because those enemies are no longer draining your resources. And so you get to move on to the next group of enemies. Is kind of the idea, is like, if you really struggle with an area, then as long as you can kill one enemy each time, like before you die, then you will eventually clear out the area because the enemies will stop respawning. So it's an interesting mechanic because it is like, it makes the game easier the longer you play, the harder you find it to kill like whole groups. As long as you keep killing individuals, they will eventually stop respawning. However, if you join the company of champions, all enemies in the game will continue to respawn indefinitely, as long as they're respawning enemies. If they're non-respawning, like, well, obviously boss fights, crystal lizards, phantom enemies, and other, like, special enemies, which are, non-respawning, they'll never spawn again, even if you're in the company of champions. Which is, I think, an interesting way to balance things. Because they probably could have made it so company of champions would make those enemies respawn indefinitely too. Although most of them, the reason they don't respawn is because they have, like, a special drop that they are guaranteed to drop, like crystal lizards. Or like boss fights, they act as, a gateway of progression. And so having them respawn would be weird. But I think they could have had, like with this area, if you go to New Game Plus, I forced the area into New Game Plus by using a bonfire aesthetic, or bonfire intensity 2, for whatever reason they call it that. It added not only a handful of dark phantoms, it added, I think, 4 phantom enemies, which are humanoid enemies. Not all phantoms are humanoid, but those specific ones were humanoid. And it also added, what was it, 2 extra hammer knights, an extra greatsword knight, That might have been it. But it added 3 extra of the normal enemies that you find in that area. But they're non-respawning. And I think they could have made more of the New Game Plus enemies respawning, instead of having them, die one time and never come back. I think it would have been more interesting. I mean, it would have made, like, New Game Plus and whatnot more interesting. Also, if they'd had, more things actually change in New Game Plus, or in the higher New Game Plus cycles, like adding even more enemies to some areas, or giving enemies new abilities. I think they do that to a couple things. Adding new loot that spawns in the higher New Game Plus cycles. There are a few items that, like, are replaced or respawned, whatever, in New Game Plus, but not nearly as many as I think there should be. And most of them are just, like, respawned. Like, most of the items are just like, oh, you can pick that up again. It's not like, oh, here's a different item here now, or a better item. They do that in a couple spots, but again, not nearly as much as I would have liked. But it is more than they did for the other Souls games. So I guess, I'm not going to criticize them too much for doing it, because I think it is a fun mechanic. I just wish they'd done more. And like I said earlier, this is going to be on the shorter end today. We're going to wrap up here in about 20 minutes or so. Yeah. I know it said it was a rare drop, but I'm actually going to double check that these guys can drop pyromancies. Because if they can't, I'm just wasting a bunch of time. That would suck. Okay, this one doesn't do chances. There we go. Okay, they have about 1% drop rate for Fireball and Fire Orb, a 0.5% drop rate for Great Fireball, and can I affect that with item discovery gear? I should be able to, but what kind of effect does it actually have is the question. Okay, that'll work. Okay, I just can't use Fandom. Fandom is busted. How do drops work in this game? It does not say, I do not think. Alright. I'm not sure. Okay, the prisoner's hood. Malicious waste race. Item discovery. I already knew that. Okay, there's no explanation on how item discovery works. That's great. That's fine, I suppose. I'll probably figure it out at some point. I really hope you all can't hear me chewing. There we go. We're gonna bring up the this guy. Mm. I had a headshot with that? That's incredible. I did not get headshot people with fireball. I think we're gonna kill this guy maybe one more time. If he doesn't drop anything, we'll just go ahead and do other stuff instead. Although again, I probably won't be making any progress. My hope is to have some live viewers next time. Which I guess I don't really need people watching to do boss fights. It just feels more enjoyable when there are people here. Okay, he's almost done. Just a couple more arrows. And boom. And nothing this time either. The truth is, we just need to get lucky when it comes to this sort of stuff. So whether he drops it or not, he might have a certain percentage chance, but it really does come down to, does he drop it or doesn't he? If we're real lucky, he'll drop it real quick. If we're unlucky, we will never see it. Oh no. Oh, okay. Guess we're going on a ride. I don't think there are any items in here, are there? No. I don't think so. But sometimes, they like to mess with you. The key to that door is in the Iron Keep, for some reason. Well, I mean, probably those lizards came from the Iron Keep. So it makes an amount of sense. And one more. Da, 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 da. We dropped something this time. Yeah, it's another red orb. Ah, wonderful. Alright. Well, we might as well kill these guys while we're down here. Don't need the Hawkrin while we're down here. We could do with... well, none of them in particular, actually. That gives me 20 points, that'd be nice. This will go for Solar Serpent. That'll give us... usually about 1080 souls from it instead of 900. Pretty decent. Honestly, really wish I had poison. Can you use poison on bow? No, you can't use resins on a bow, of course not. That's fair, I guess. At some point I'm gonna grab a poison infused bow. It's probably gonna be this one, actually. No, or... actually, if I just joined the Radguard Covenant, I could poison things with this. I think. Nothing from him. We're gonna kill this guy the same way we did last time. Come on. There we go. Okay. I don't like how rapidly he switches direction. Makes it very difficult to hit him in the belly. Also hits like that, where we clearly hit him in the throat, and it hits him in the nose instead. Yeah. An awe stone. Wonderful. Okay. Did not know he could do that. We're dead. We are so dead. Oh, unless he's retreating. That's interesting. Guess he doesn't like being outside of his little zone. Oh, okay. Didn't know that attack had that much range on it. No. Okay. I literally just fell for it again. Hello. He is very intent on killing me. That is fascinating. I do not have another weapon equipped. Okay. was almost enough to kill him. Okay. He literally got me trapped in a little tiny corner I couldn't escape from. Now that's just rude. I do need to wrap up here in just a minute. But I am... gonna go ahead and try and get those souls back. I'm not gonna try and kill all of them because it is time consuming and taxing. But this should be fine. Just killing these two. The way they calculate fall damage in this game is really fascinating. Especially compared to Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1, every fall that is survivable is always survivable as long as you have full health, no matter your equip load. If you are absolutely over-encumbered to the maximum, like you're the lowest possible equip load, and you are wearing like full Havels and wielding, I don't know, 6 Havel's Great Shields, or 6 Dragon's Tooth, or whatever, you're absolutely maxed out on equip load. The maximum survivable fall height, which is just under 20 full units, will do 99.9% of your health, meaning it will always leave you with at least 1 point, no matter how far, no matter how heavy you are. If you're at absolute lightest possible equip load, that same fall, I think, will do like 20, or it might do like 50% of your health, or a bit more. And that's assuming like you have like Havels and FAP and maxed endurance, and are wearing literally no gear. But in this game, fall damage is based on distance and your equip weight, or your equip load, and not by percentage like in Dark Souls 1. It's determined by equip load based on actual weight, which is kind of stupid, if you ask me. Honestly, I wish Poison Weapon was a spell in this game, because I know that it exists in several others. Not several. Elden Ring. Maybe Dark Souls 3. Does it exist in Dark Souls 1? No, I think there's just Poison Grease in Dark Souls 1. But if it was in Dark Souls 1 or 2, it would probably be a pyromancy. Like Flame Weapon. And yes, I am the kind of person to use poison to cheese enemies. It's easy. I don't always seek out challenge. I barely seek out adversity. Unless it's a game I enjoy, like this one. But even here, if I just want to enjoy the game, I'll do things like this, because I find the mindless tedium of it relaxing. We don't have too many homeward bones left, but that's fine, we don't use them very often anyway. with that, I'm going to re-equip this. And you. And you. And we're going to put you here. And you here. And we're back to our usual setup once again. Back to Majula. We should be able to get one level out of this. Yeah. Attunement wouldn't be a bad plan. Endurance is also good. Adaptability is alright. That's not a level that gives us much there, though. I'll just throw it on some extra health. We're going to try and get most of our basic stats up to about 20. And then I'm going to stock up on some more life gems. If we have 12 faith, we can use the basic miracle.
Thank you.
Up to 59 life gems. Well, we aren't getting... Not today. At least not right now. Why Forest of Fallen Giants? Why is that the most active for people on my level? That's just weird. Like, truly bizarre. We're gonna go ahead here, kill a few more of these guys. And then we're gonna wrap up here in, again, just a minute. About 5 minutes, actually. Great timing on that. We could very easily farm up a couple more levels. The only reason it takes longer to farm souls with these guys than with the worms is because the worms is such a quick route. It's just 4 of them, we get shy of 2,000 souls. Get about 1,900 souls per run with the worms. Plus the Titanite drops from them. Makes it more than worth it to farm the worms. But even if we only get like 2,000 souls per run instead of the like 7,500 we get with these guys, we can do a run of the worms in about 2 minutes, give or take. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes to do these guys. It's already taken me about 2 minutes just to get through 4 of them. My usual run is just these 6. That, it took me about 4.5 minutes. No, not 4.5. About 3.5 plus the run back time. So just killing those 6 totals to about 4 minutes. Made about just shy of 8,000 souls. That's about as many souls as we get from 4 runs of the worms, which I think each run takes us maybe just over a minute. I'd probably time this if I really wanted to. I am looking at, trying to estimate an average based on how much time it is actively taking. Because it takes about 10 seconds to get between each set of knights, and then it takes probably another 10 seconds to kill each knight. Oh no, it probably takes about 5 seconds for the actual... but if you start from the time I start baiting them, probably 10 to 15 seconds, considering sometimes I have to play it extra safe. Like with these guys, I usually take a bit longer. Oh, there's another Ostone. Just to deal with these guys faster, I have to do that whole run over. This would take about half as much time to kill this guy if I was using Fire Orb. By a third of the time if I was using Great Fireball. Never understood why they chose to name them the way they did. So for one more level, let's go ahead and just do one more run real quick. We can get enough souls to get 2 levels out of this. And spend whatever's left over on some more life gems. Or some more arrows. Don't really need arrows right now. We've got 500, 600, 400. Used a lot on those fire lizards. I'm glad I upgraded this thing enough that it's back down to 1 combo to kill them. Because for a minute there I was having to hit him like 6 times. It's just the 1 downward strike, or risk getting caught in their combo. Souls are absolutely worth it now that I can just do 1 set and they're done. I don't think I'm ever going to get the chest plate. leggings. A blue eye orb. Alright, we're gonna head back to Majula. Take a couple more levels. I'm gonna put both of these levels in either adaptability or attunement, whichever actually sees results from this. I don't need to put anything in attunement. My attunement is fine. I need to put stuff in adaptability. One, you're kidding me. I'm like 2k shy. Okay. Whatever. Let's just finally get that to 20. And we'll go and grab another 30. Odd. 33. 35.
Thanks.
We're almost maxed out on life gems. It's good, we're gonna need those. And I think that's gonna be it for today. I know the last few streams have been super boring. The next one we are gonna make some progress. Next time we're gonna go ahead and kill the Bone Lord. Might go ahead and get Lingering Flame before I go after him, though. Only costs about 10k souls. Pretty easy to farm up that many. Anyway, see y'all next time. Hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time and place you're watching. And, yeah, have fun, I guess. See y'all another time.